Dear Gerald, I'm Cherry and I believe that Nintendo could possibly be the most important games company in the world. Yeah, take that, Microsoft. Okay, so yesterday I went with the Video Game Society to a debate with the Video Game Society and the Feminist Society on how females are portrayed in video games. Also, I've been going through all the old game theory videos because I was bored. One that stuck in my mind in particular was the one asking whether video games are anti-LGBT. Now, I'm not saying that these two things have opened my eyes into the issues of video game society. No, I know these things exist, but I feel it's kind of made me more interested in the sociological side of video games as opposed to just the purely technical and creative sides. Okay, first off, video games don't make you more violent. Unless you're giving a very small child, talking like 3, GTA 5, which you shouldn't do, that's a bad idea, you're probably going to be fine. I looked it up a while ago, and I think I found there was one study that found that there's a very slight increase in aggression in people who played more violent video games. Emphasis on the very slight and the one study that found this. However, one of the points raised in the debate I went to yesterday was that video games surely have some kind of effect on the more sociological aspects of people's brains. In particular, they were talking about sexuality, sexism, gender equality, that kind of stuff. Now, like I just said, with giving 3-year-olds GTA 5, teenagers and children's brains are still developing, so clearly it's very important what things they experience then so that their brain adapts properly to the world. This is where Nintendo comes in. Nintendo has some bit of a reputation for making kids games. Imagine there's a 6-year-old and his or her birthday is happening next week and you need to buy him or her a present. You know that this 6-year-old is into video games, so you want to buy him or her a video game. What is the first video game that comes to mind when you're thinking of buying one for a child? I'm guessing it's Pokemon. Since Generation 2 in Pokemon, players have had the choice to be male or female. Okay, so plus points for gender equality, because it doesn't affect how you play the game whatsoever. There's really no complaints regarding gender that could affect Pokemon. Although when I say gender, I mean cisgender, not non-binary. In Generation 6 of Pokemon, Pokemon X and Y, what added to the player customization, as well as just choosing whether to be male or female, you could choose clothes and eye colour and hair length and that kind of stuff for your character. Which is great, it's fun. There's just one itty bitty little problem. Guys can't buy dresses. Just can't. I would have loved to have my characters just wander in the shop. I will purchase your finest dress, and I will wear it when I beat the Elite Four, and be beautiful while doing so, because I'll be on TV. People and everyone will love me. I know my sister in particular is giving me weird looks right now. Well, shame on you, sister. Pretty dresses are pretty. Now, this isn't the only time that Nintendo has put in extra little tiny bits of code that stop people doing things that they want to do just because of which gender they happen to have chosen. For example, Tomodachi Life, which got criticised because, if you don't know about Tomodachi Life, basically you put your Miis, that sounds weird, you know, your Miis, your little characters, basically they go into the game and they do things. I don't know, they do rock concerts and ask each other out. And the asking each other out is the problematic part. You see, male Miis and female Miis could ask each other out, they could go out, they could go on dates and stuff. But male Miis couldn't ask male Miis out, and female Miis couldn't go out with female Miis. Also, to add to Nintendo's repertoire of doing strange things with non-heteronormative characters. If you're into Mario, you've probably heard of Birdo, and if you play Super Paper Mario, I think particularly the Thousand Year Door, then you will have heard of Vivian. In Japan, these characters are specifically stated to be biologically male characters identifying as female characters. But in the West, in translation, this has been changed to these characters just being purely female. Now, on the one hand, this could just be the West being accepting of their chosen gender, deciding to ignore the fact that they're biologically male and just refer to them as female because that's how they identify themselves. But that's probably not true because... Also, did I mention that these characters are also antagonists in at least part of the games? Great work, Nintendo, stigmatizing transsexualism. But there is one Nintendo game that ignores binary genders and whatnot and just says, hey, you want to wear a dress? You can wear a dress. Animal Crossing. Admittedly, the characters might comment upon the fact of a guy buying a dress, but they won't be against it. They'll say, hey, that's out of the ordinary, but alright. Good for you. Can't just take a leaf out of the book of Animal Crossing. I swear I didn't do the leaf/new leaf pun on purpose. Okay, so Nintendo, renowned for making family-friendly games, clearly has an impact on how kids perceive the world, how they grow up, how their brains develop, how their how they interact with other people. You know what else kids do? Kids watch TV. Kids watch children's cartoons. Kids watch Cartoon Network. Some kids watch Clarence. If you know about Clarence, you know where I'm going with this. Clarence is one of the newer, weirder Cartoon Network shows. Not really my thing, but pretty good. At least it's not Uncle Grandpa. In one episode of the show, two male characters kissed each other, and you're not allowed to show kids that because... So Cartoon Network censored it and changed it to one of the characters kisses the other character on the cheek instead of on the lips. Obviously there was a bit of backlash. That is not the only cartoon, well, it's an anime, this one. Legend of Korra has two canonical bisexuals. Well, I don't know if they're both bisexual, I don't actually watch the show. I seem to do a lot of talking about shows that I don't watch. It's very important. Why aren't there more not straight relationships in cartoons? Okay, the things you can't show on children's TV are things that are excessively violent, explicitly sexual, psychologically traumatizing. I don't see where gay relationships fit into this at all. The point I'm trying to make is that people who control what kids watch and experience or whatever should really loosen up. I mean, come on. It's the 21st century. The second decade of the 21st century. It's 2015, people. Anyway, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, and good night. I already posted a couple things on my Tumblr blog, link in the doobly-doo, in particular relating to video games. Legend of Zelda with a female protagonist.